That should be an opening for a movie. When they're doing the commercials for the movie, that should be a line right there.
The whole trailer is about how no doesn't mean no.
No, I'm talking like the commercials.
Eventually,
That's a trailer, I guess, right?
Eventually, we got to move the bong, not because it's not supposed to be in the scene, but just because I want to throw stuff at Mike and I don't want to Howard injure it.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. There'll be a lot of shit flying back and forth by the end of this.
That's why I brought mints.
Excellent. I brought mints.
I don't know if I want pocket mints.
Where else you got to keep mints? Pocket mints.
No. You can have your own pocket mint. That's fine. I don't think I want his pocket mint.
Interesting.
Well, these aren't
Judge
exposed.
another man's pocket.
These aren't exposed to a pocket.
Warmth and sweat happens near pockets.
Yeah, but it's in a container.
I don't care.
It's in a plastic container.
Stuff leaks through plastic all the time.
I think if an item...
I just don't feel good about it, man. Especially at warm
is touching
temperatures.
pocket, it's a pocket blank. If it's sealed in, I don't think it qualifies.
So, like, you have pocket dollars. Those are consumable items.
Yeah, it's walking around money.
No one's putting dollars in their mouth.
No, but we're putting them
Maybe we should start.
around our nose occasionally.
I'm
You want
not.
to use the hundred.
No, I don't. I won't do that. I don't. Sorry, man. I've never put $1 near my nose.
They put hundreds near your nose, though.
Never put 100 near my nose.
I know that's fake.
Never.
Did they drug test you at that school you work at?
Yeah, I
Drug test myself.
I have to ask my son
sure
if
it's
you're
ready.
Yeah, you're just giving yourself like spinal tap to protect for drugs.
That's pretty good drug test.
Get the fucking needle. Take some fluid out. I gotta know what I did.
Yeah, I drug tested myself before I got this job. We're good.
Yeah, you go to an interview and you bring your own drug test and you failed.
You're intentionally failing on purpose. You don't want this job no matter what.
Look, I want you to know what I'm up to.
Failed your own personal test and you just showed up and swapped the test.
Testing. Well, he doesn't know what he's doing.
It says you test positive for horse tranquilizers. I like to get relaxed. Really
It
relaxed.
also says you are a pregnant elephant.
I like to relax.
Like,
Look, I like to relax.
Speaking of my strengths on the job.
I'm gonna need to take 11 months off very soon.
Right away.
2 things I'd say negative about me.
I work too hard.
Here's a biology question. So mammals all like you're a mammal if you have live birth. Human births take 9 months. Is that the same for all animals, or does it vary? Like
No, it's different for
Length
all
of
animals.
so,
pregnancy?
which mammal has the longest gestation time?
Probably an elephant.
Like an elephant or like a whale?
Yeah.
Who's got the quickest? Who's just fucking
Rabbits.
Rabbits.
Whales are the quickest.
Rats.
Rats.
So the
Mice.
smaller the mammal, the less gestation required.
Typically.
To use firemen.
Less
Okay.
complex creature.
I suppose
More
it's a more
stuff has
exciting
to be
answer,
built.
but
No, no,
More likely to die.
I feel stupid for asking.
Yeah,
If you want to
should.
have sex with a horse, just say it.
Just like to relax.
You know, I'm withdrawing my question.
Oh, we're digressing already.
Yeah. What do we think it was going to be?
So I have a bit to bring to the table. This is from my brother. So he and
Oh god, he's already pushing bits on you? Oh,
this is a good one.
Oh my
This
god,
is
he's already
a good
pushing
one.
bits on us, huh?
So
Sorry.
he and his coworkers came up with it. So the idea is like you're in a meeting,
Yep.
and someone goes, "Well, do you have any questions?" And if you have more than one question, you raise both hands. And then after your first question is answered, you put one hand down, and you keep the second hand up
Nice.
still for your second question.
Nice, I like that.
I thought that was a good one.
That's pretty
It's a
good. That's
bit.
pretty good.
That's one of those things that will help society.
It's like having
Yeah, right?
everyone else has to go around before you get your second question. So it's like a draft.
And you're just sitting there just peacefully just waiting with your second question.
You look over at some weird guy. He's got both of his legs up in the air in his hands too.
got a lot of
He's like, I got more questions than you do.
What if when you raise your hand, you use your fingers to indicate how many questions you have? So I'm like, I got 4 questions.
Well, that's going to take 2
And you
hands,
take
though.
them
You got to
down.
have the hand.
No, you gotta.
Because I got
with
10
the
fucking
numbers.
questions.
Yeah. No,
We need to go through all of them.
No, because you got to make it worth working for the extra ones. You know, I got to hold both of my arms up. This is frustrating, but I got 2 questions.
But
They're
you should
important.
earn the second question.
Yeah, but
That's why 3 and 4 are like extra. You're obsessed, so you gotta hold all those up for the entire draft.
Should it be if your first question really sucks, you shouldn't get to ask your
You
second
have to put your
question?
head back up.
Only if the crowd.
Yeah, you gotta be back in the line.
Only vote. It's gonna be voted by the crowd, though. Crowd response only determines that.
Yeah.
I
Oh!
like if there's someone like working the crowd in a meeting. There's like a hype
Because
guy.
it's like,
showing
you
us,
Bringing out the excitometer to find out.
judges.
Let's see what the crowd says.
Soup.
There's someone like blasting T-shirts across the meeting.
Ooh, yeah.
You can't be biased, man. It's a very important rule.
The fucking giving him the chop, just oh.
We got fire over here.
And you're fired.
You are fired.
Yeah, you do a meeting and it's like to determine who's gonna get laid off, and like you're doing like crowd checks to see who's most well liked. And if you get the weakest response, you're out.
The board members are coming into entrance music.
Yeah, they've got the company
Fire-
logo on a big
fire
flag and they
tactics.
run through it.
That'd be awesome.
You're not asking enough
We should
questions
start a
on this
company
order.
and do all these things.
Yeah.
You know, corporate culture, it's very important.
Oh yeah, you can make a lot of money off corporate culture.
Beer served in every room.
Oh yeah.
What company is this?
Yeah, what business are you in?
Hey, company culture's big, man.
Yeah.
Company culture. That's how you
Well,
make
this
your
will
money.
be when, you know, for example, when Laughers hits the big multinational corporate phase in about 20 years. This stuff is going to keep people around, you know.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, the whole thing is fucking collapsing.
So what do you guys sell? Corporate culture.
Yeah,
what
we
you
sell
sell, yeah,
corporate
that's our
culture
business.
solutions.
No, you come to work with us for our corporate culture. That's how we make our money. We sell that to you.
So we're just like selling like beer and hot dogs to them. So like
No,
our
no,
company
no,
is like
no.
a
We're
stadium
selling
and their
a
company's
company.
a hang out.
That beer and hot dogs is a whole separate scam that we got going on. No. It's not the same thing.
Goddamn.
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 Yeah, so you'd be selling the service of corporate culture.
Oh no, we're just a corporation that sells corporate culture. You come to work with us for the corporate culture.
Right.
Oh, God.
So are we making money off our employees?
Yeah, they pay to be there.
Yeah, if they pay they buy tickets when they
Well, the
show
employees,
up. There's like scalpers at the entrance.
the employees are also the customers, by the way. That's the way it works.
Well, yeah.
That's the whole trick.
Amazon's been doing it.
Well, instead of an office building, that's why I said like you just have like a stadium they go to, and like in the first ring, you know, they can like buy food and they can buy beer. There's like people selling merch with like the company logo on it, and then in the center you used to have like huge like 400-person meetings.
Cubicles. Cubicles. Corner offices for a few people if you buy the luxury.
Yeah, if you're higher up, yeah.
Corporate
Oh, yeah.
culture, man.
Yeah, that's sold.
Yep.
People are into that.
Big
We're
desks,
making millions.
booze, and drugs in the drawers of the desk.
Oh yeah.
To do with your clients
Yep.
for the corporate culture.
And you're selling, corporate
Well,
culture to
everything's
these clients.
for the
It's not hard to get them in on it. They're already
Well, we
there.
got to get other companies to do this, and then we charge them.
Well, yeah.
We consult
A
on
franchise
companies.
fee.
We're culture consultants.
FTCC.
We're working both sides, interior, exterior culture.
Oh, yeah.
Every culture.
All culture.
Culture.
We are the cradle of culture.
We're the tastemakers.
Yep.
the
culture.
taste makers of culture.
Of culture. Culturally.
Culturally speaking.
Culturally speaking.
The cultures. Too many cultures.
Very
I didn't
culture.
look-
All the fucking cultures.
Any information on this factoid?
Yeah.
I read it in a book, a novel. Click in your can.
That's research. Oh,
So it's a fact in your fictional book.
Not my book,
Noises.
just one I read.
Okay, a fact in a fictional book.
Yes. So I mean, it was sold to me
Could
as
be a
fiction.
non-fiction novel.
Yeah, they could just
They
be
do sell
marketing
those,
it
yeah.
as fiction. But apparently, the house ant.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how it got to America?
Came over from England.
No, not England.
South America.
Shittier place?
Australia.
Ooh, that'll do it.
They're giving us.
Did they
That's
explain
like
how
that
this
is like a
happened?
real bad disease to give
No.
somebody. You gave them ants for all of eternity.
Yeah.
There was no ants.
There were
And you
no
just
ants.
Gave them ants.
I wonder how they did it. Like,
Gross.
do you think it was like a colony?
Some little kids got a little
brought-
flat colony thing and it fell over, and now ants everywhere. That's
Yeah,
the way it
just They
works.
moved some.
Was it established when this happened?
No, this was not a
20 years ago.
This was just like a side thing
Okay,
in
so
this.
you weren't reading like a book about ants, which
yeah,
I
yeah,
understand would be awesome.
that would have
You had
been
one of those books we could read?
non-fiction.
Okay.
That would be called a non. I wasn't reading a book that was informative about ants. That'd be a non-fiction book.
Okay, so
I was watching the movie Ants. Yeah.
With what's his name?
And in
Woody
that,
Allen.
one of the footnotes in that
Ugh, that dude.
told me,
Check out this book.
check out this book. I don't know how I feel about the book.
Wait, you're reading a book about the movie Ants? There's a footnote in that.
A fictional book
Okay,
about
would
the
they
movie
buy like the published screenplay?
No. It's just a move. It's a book about the movie. It's not a novelization of the movie.
Okay, so it's a novel that they bring up the movie Ants.
A fictional one.
Maybe like
Fictional
one of the
one.
characters.
But this is
Holy
like one of
crap.
the main moving plots. If you don't know the movie
What's this novel
Ants,
called?
Ants.
Ants.
Ants, true story.
Not even based on a true story.
Now I want to read either a book about ants to like flesh out that fact, or someone needs to write a novel about ants, and then this is a thing that gets brought up along the way. How do you think they came over? If you had to speculate,
If I had to
how do you
speculate,
think they
people
came over?
from so you had some colonists that were trying to do the Australia thing, and as we've seen in a few of Quentin Tarantino's historical fiction films, Australians were here. So they're fucking ant. Have you met a house ant?
A few.
That's a great biology.
I got a pocket.
Well, actually, so they're pretty resilient.
So you think it's just like
I
a
think
queen just hitched a ride on
Yeah.
some Aussie?
Yeah, I think.
That's
Probably
an
in a
ambitious
pile of
ant
food.
queen.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, and something that wasn't properly stored before you loaded it onto the ship that were taken to America.
Plants. They were picking up plants. Some like fucking horticulturist was picking up plants in Australia, bringing them back to America to test, and they brought a bunch of fucking dirt with ants in it with them.
What if it was some like Aussie kid who just had like an ant farm, and then like I'm bringing this to America, then day one they fucking drop it on
That
the
was
ground.
literally my
Ants
joke.
just-
That
ants
was
just
literally
get away.
my joke earlier. That's
Wait.
exactly what I said.
It's a very clumsy.
Just that little
Australian
flat
town.
terrarium. That little flat. Little ants in it.
Oh, what is this? An etch a sketch?
Little ant farm.
It's
Some
sort of
bully
like,
comes and takes it. You fucking nerd. What is this? An etch a sketch?
You make, oh my god. Bring back the like 90s like bully.
Yeah. Yeah,
little bully
completely
kid.
anachronism, like 90s bully, backwards baseball cap and everything, come to
What's up,
Australia, like 1875. What up, dude? What the fuck is this? An etch a sketch?
Everything else
Skateboards away.
Hey, don't you know ants are fucking dudes?
Flips it off as he rides away.
Yeah.
I thought I saw this fucking ant farm while I was banging your mom last night.
Okay, so in the 1890s, Aussie kids comes over, winds up in like a 1980s high school, encounters bully, and that's where the first ant problem was
Whoa, this can't be
1980.
This can't be 80s.
No, there was no. I like this for a documentary idea. There was no ants in America until
I
1980.
just want to imagine America without an ant. Just like
There were none.
prosperous nation.
We just needed a
The only time.
smooth sailing for America from here.
The
And then
only
it just
time-
like zooms in on one like very suspicious looking ant just
Comes to
looking
Detroit.
around. They had like a shifty-eyed ant.
It's like the dog.
Only time we saw ants in America before that was that film, Them.
What if it was more nefarious? Like someone was like, "We're gonna get those fucking Americans," just like grabbing pocketfuls of ants, and then they get on the boat and they come over just like.
Honey,
Well,
I Shrunk the
no,
Kids.
Yeah, just like feeding them sugar throughout the journey.
Are we just
Nefarious?
describing this plot of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
But they think they're going to England, who sent them away as fucking prisoners to a prison colony, but they crash land in America.
Or they were just cheap. We're like, let's just get tickets to America. They got lazy at the port.
Yeah,
Oh, God, these are so expensive.
yeah, no, there was a deal.
Yeah. Well, there's a layover. Just like,
there's a layover.
Well, look, let's just get up and go to a restaurant, and they miss their flight.
It's cheaper to go there, but there's a layover, and we can just leave on the layover.
And that layover's in Denver, because that's where all layovers are. So they're in Denver with their ants, their pocket full of ants. They're just like squirting like sugar into their pockets, keeping going.
This could be a good subplot for the conquistadors in space idea I had, where
they bring ants to space.
Well, no, the conquistadors accidentally sail off the edge of the flat Earth into space with their ship. So all the adventures of the conquistadors in space, they have one like Incan that they've captured with them.
They gotta add a little collar.
Yeah.
They come back, it's Planet of the Ants.
Yeah. Look what you've done. Look what you've done.
You bastards!
Wow.
Damn you all!
You damn dirty ants.
Or it's like at the end of the Mark Wahlberg one where he lands and it's just like a bunch of ants and like cop outfits and stuff.
Yeah, that was all right. So that was the more recent Planet of the Apes.
That's how it ends.
Well, yeah. So he takes off from the
like
Planet
a Rick
of the
and
Apes
Morty episode,
and goes through like a time portal and winds up back at Earth, but it doesn't really explain it very well. And like he lands on Earth and like Washington DC.
You killed him.
Check his pulse. Check his pulse.
Nah, I don't want to.
It's too late.
Yeah, let him go.
Well, this happens when you talk about Mark Wahlberg. It just goes catatonic.
He did pretty good in the box. It wasn't the box.
that one where the plants are the bad guys.
Little Shop of Horrors.
No.
That was one plant.
That was the one.
That plan was
that plan wasn't
guy.
the bad guy.
The wrong side of this.
Were we watching a different musical and/or movie musical? Because he seems like a pretty nice guy. He's trying to get a bite to eat.
Jesus.
I need to finish this can because I keep
It's not
fucking
like
playing.
foul to. No, it's not.
Now that you pointed that out.
From Slaughterhouse 5.
No, it's fucking. It's that shitty movie with Mark Wahlberg where the plants are the fucking. The plot twist.
Oh, M. Night
It's
Shyamalan did it,
The
right?
fucking plants. Probably. I'm not. Sure.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Mark Wahlberg was in a Shyamalan Ding Dong movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Happening.
The Happening.
The Happening.
Yeah.
And like everyone's going crazy, and then you find out that like the plants have learned that humans are poisoning the planet, so the plants are using their pollens to
kill
drive
people.
you crazy.
Oh, that was great.
I guess it could have been,
Well,
but it definitely wasn't.
Yeah, Resident Evil.
Well, look, I'll say this.
Evil Dead was with the vines. Chick.
were there plant monsters at all whatsoever?
No.
They're just plants.
You think there's like that's
That's a guy that didn't want to spend any money on CGI.
There's a lot of anti-plant
That's it.
propaganda, and I'll say someone who's not a plant. I think it's very disgusting
That's
how
true.
that movie attacked plants.
maybe I can stand behind that movie because I am super anti-plant, as in none of the people we hang out with are plants.
You should start staging showings of that movie. Like, look, everyone's got to know what's going on. You know, you go to these fucking arboretums, they pull the wool over your eyes.
Get the plant.
I
It's
swear
making me
I've
think
never
of
hung
Order
out
of
with a
the
plant
Stick.
before.
The dwarf was always talking about the trees conspiring against them.
This is a dwarf you knew?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Little
And it was not short furry. Different dwarf.
Okay.
Although I
Like a
don't
clinical
think he was a big
person
fan
with
of trees
dwarfism,
either.
Yeah.
Sure. 50-50.
Yeah.
I was honestly
He liked them as target practice.
He did.
based off of the first description you ever gave me of him, I thought he was going to be shorter. I was actually a little disappointed when I met him at how
Just a very
short
short
he
man.
was not.
Oh yeah, but see that's something the short people do. So then when you meet them, you're like, oh, you're taller, and then they get boosted. Like, nice, yeah, he called me tall. I am tall. I am tall. Nice,
Grow a
nice.
little bit.
Everyone was
only
telling
man
me
who was
all sorts of
truly
like
as
he
wide
was
as he
so
was tall.
short.
He is.
I mean, he's just you're all short.
I gotta remember, he was as wide as he was tall, which is impressive.
So he was 5 feet wide.
Yeah. He was
No, he was probably like 7.
He was a 50.
Wider than he was tall. It was pretty much a 16:9 aspect ratio screen. He was actually the obelisk.
Great, now I'm
Yeah.
and now I'm describing
He was
his
an
show.
orb.
I'm sorry.
But he was.
You were
at least when he
calling
was younger,
Phil
he was like-
gay.
I know, right?
He was muscle gut when he was younger. He was a big guy, but he was fucking strong.
living in a van down by the river.
Yep.
He was like an ant, you know,
Oh, yeah,
small but like great strength relative to its size.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Hunter and I watched a really good documentary one day about ants. It was pretty impressive.
I would like to just stop there. Never just moved on. I watched a great movie.
Yeah,
I couldn't take the suspense anymore.
Yeah, how much suspense?
You know the audience can't deal with that much suspense. We talked about this earlier.
Well, so one of the experiments they run on the ants is a G-force experiment to see what type of grip
Yeah, that makes
strength.
sense.
So they have this like
Centrifuge.
centrifuge, but it's not really like a. It's weird. It kind of is.
So they're just
but
shredding
it's
these ants.
not.
in
No,
this,
they're
like,
not shredding
Turkish
them.
twist kind
So
of.
they're spinning this thing, and they have
amusement
this ant essentially on the outside of a wheel, and he's gripping it. But they get the wheel going pretty fast, and at one point they have the camera following this ant. He's going around. He's holding on by one arm, and his whole body's just being flung out by the force. But motherfucker's still holding
He's
on.
holding on for dear life.
Yeah.
Dear life
Yeah.
is hanging on for.
Yep. They dropped ants from all different sorts of heights.
We got to figure out what
They-
they
they-
damage. Right, that's how you really test it out. How they take. How they
They
squish
wanted-
and die. No, keep
They
going
wanted to launch one into space. And that's how it all starts right
Yeah,
there.
then 100 years from now, how did ants get to Mars?
They're ruining our houses. Why did they bring these here?
Whose fucking idea was this?
Do you think there are ants on the International Space Station?
100%.
Like any of the ants they brought up there for experiments like something
Oh,
about?
100%.
And they're just like chilling.
Didn't they do already a Simpsons episode with this in it?
Yeah, there is an episode.
Simpsons
where,
did
yeah,
it.
Homer's head smashes into the ant farm. And I, for one, welcome our new insect overlord. So we got to get some ants as the conclusion.
No.
Some ants.
Kill all the ants.
Kill all ants.
Kill all the ants. That's
We need to get rid of the ants and get back
Yeah, do
to
we
what it was like
do
in
we
the
get
70s.
to hear this rant again about your ants?
Before they showed up in the 1980s.
Yes.
There's not.
I
There's
don't know
not
if we need
much
to. I don't know if we need to rehash
And
the ants.
don't ever give a specific, just the 1980s.
So we got to make like a, we gotta make like a
The
Fast
narrator
Times at
talking.
Ridgemont
In
High
1980s.
movie,
Sometime in
but
the
that's about the
1980s.
arrival of ants in the 80s. Sort of like do some good historical revisionism there. People got to know this is really when the ant problem began.
Yeah, this is when the aardvarks started moving into Baltimore.
Do you think that might be too much for the ants, though, and like that's when
Can
they
you
decide that
keep
they're
a
going to
pet
revolt
aardvark?
against us? Because
Probably.
they outnumber us by weight pretty significantly.
Oh yeah.
Like a
Hilarious,
real ant uprising would probably go pretty.
Oh, especially if they all learn to work together, which in the end is the only thing that's gonna save our race.
Yeah, it's the fact that they hate each other.
Yeah, they've got the Skaven conundrum. They'd whoop our ass if they just realized, hey, it's us versus them, and there's a lot more of us.
A lot more.
Anyway, you asked for an update on the ants. I've beaten them back. I've got that all grouted in now. I was able to stop one of the colonies. This new chemical I got that takes them out, better than just sugar and borax, and I already thought that was the best shit you could do. So if you ever need to kill ants, I fucking know how to do it. I love doing it.
Get chemicals that will kill them. That's the answer.
You gotta find
Have
the
you
right
tried
chemicals.
sniffing these chemicals? Just
Certain
get a little-
chemicals? Oh, dude.
a little-
when
That's
you
what made
open
it like
the
this.
package,
While
it
you're
hits
grabbing.
you.
So when you open the package,
Just take a little like personal sniff for when you're
Rub
out
some
when
on your
you're working.
gums.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you know, just kind of little something for Bill while you're working.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, what are
It's
some of the
good.
side
It's
effects?
gelatin. It's very good.
It turns your gums to gelatin.
No, it'd probably just rot right through them.
Okay.
But it is a gelatin substance, is what I'm going for here.
but he might bring
Oh,
it back
okay,
to his
yeah.
colony.
Oh, so it's not vegan? I don't want it if it's not vegan. I don't ant killer if it's
Have
not
you tried
vegan.
dressing like an ant and kind of integrating with their culture and seeing if you can kind of push into like your neighbors or something?
I tried, but they are extremely bigoted. Extreme. I thought I was
And you
bad.
tried spraying pheromones at them.
They're like
Yeah.
that
You tried
white
secreting
ass,
at them.
fake ass ant
That
over there.
crack ass, fake it.
Crack ass ant.
Yeah, all
He's
ants.
trying to dance. That's bees.
There's
He
only
doesn't even know what type
This
of bug
fucker's,
he's
this,
trying to
this
talk to
fucker's
now.
dancing at us. I don't know what he's saying.
Trying
We
to
shake, we don't dance.
That's good. Hey,
Go make
all
some
the
money.
ants.
Hey guys, you guys making any wax? Bill McAllister.
You white
least
ass honk, and we'll
convincing
eat your
ants.
house.
I want to, Bill. Do you have an ant impression? Like
An
if you had to
ant
muster
impression?
one? Yeah, if you had to like do an ant impression.
What type of ant?
Well, I mean, what have you been using on them? I don't know, like a house ant.
What have I been
Yeah,
using
what have you
on
been
this?
doing
Not
to
the
them
type
to
of
What type
get
of impressions are we talking about right now?
Like an impression of an ant.
Like, are you doing impressions of ants
all right,
now?
all right. So hold on.
I'm trying to prompt.
Do you
Bill
like dress up like
to
ants
do
and
an
do
impression
impressions?
of
Well,
ants?
I know what you're doing. I'm just trying to figure out what ant you want. So, ant in my house, one of the ones that are attacking
Yeah, like
me.
well, what else ants?
So these motherfuckers, they're probably on drugs. If I'm gonna be honest here, because they
So are
just
you.
walk in.
Yeah.
And
Well,
they
with
just,
the
lock up.
poison you've been giving
And
them,
then
yes,
they're like
they are.
tapping
drugs,
around,
though.
but they're not moving. You know, see an ant like scuttling up and down. They've got their food. They're going up and down, but these motherfuckers are lazy bringing this food back and forth. Like, yeah, I think
They
they
sound
were
like
stoned.
crabs. You sure they don't have a crab problem?
Bill's like, I don't know, maybe they're snow.
I don't know what's wrong with these
I
guys.
don't know, they're snow looking out. I can't
Have you tried
imagine why.
smoking one of the ants? Like,
If they
do
were-
you get a
have
high
they
off it?
They were always extremely hungry though, because they
can't
were
imagine
mired
why.
down on the food.
Okay.
But
They're
would
getting
just
into the
pile
mushroom
around.
chocolates.
Maybe. Oh, that's where they went. Okay. I did see them carrying.
Maybe you should
a
put one of
block.
the squares down, see if they get in that.
Oh, they're dead now. I got them. I did see one
You
of
gotta
them
get
that
back
was
in
interesting.
for
I
that.
think
They'll
I
be
mentioned
back.
this before.
Yeah,
They
they'll be
were
back.
carrying
It's not
one
even
of their
spring
larvae.
yet.
Yeah.
And I don't normally see that. When they're carrying a larva, it means they're moving. And I saw one of them with the fucking larva in its mouth. So that was odd, but that was way back when.
That's because they're trying to move in, man.
Well, they're already there.
Yeah, you're defeating them at their weakest.
Yeah, I know. I got them. I couldn't get the chairman.
Couldn't get
but I
the
got
chairman,
fucking
but you got
ants.
Couldn't get the
Ants.
chairman, but you got the ants.
We're making an ant horror movie, and little girls gonna be like, they're getting in. Ants everywhere.
That'd be good. An ant horror movie. That'd actually be kind of.
What if like ants got in the brain and were controlling a person?
That's
Played out.
no. That's Simpsons.
You
They
guys-
don't need to be
Yeah,
smart.
play
They
it
just
out.
need to be horrifying. It doesn't need to be
Oh,
intelligent.
Frisky Dingo. Did
Yeah.
that one.
Did they? Ants in the brain controlling them?
Yes.
Okay.
Antagony.
Oh yeah.
So what's not played out with ants then?
An ant horror movie would actually be pretty good.
There's an actual
Straight up,
documentary.
the ants are getting made big.
Yeah, no, they're just ants.
Maybe
Ants.
some like African army ants hitch a ride over and just like attack a town.
The
Or
scariest
they're
ants are
setting
from
up shop
South
in the
America.
town.
The South.
If you wanna know
There's a whole
scary-
Those
documentary
ants
thing
carry
about that.
babies off. Those ants
We
don't
watched
fuck
that in
around.
school back in the day. The ants literally, the guy buys his whole property, like wants to farm it and stuff, and they literally like swarm like an ocean over the property, and then I'm pretty sure they killed it.
That's not a documentary. That's Lanigan versus the ant. I mean,
You're not supposed to tell people. You're not supposed to. God damn it!
Wait, he buys a farm in South America and gets attacked by ants?
Crazy
That's
documentary.
a crazy documentary, man. We also had it in school. Come on, it had to be true. It was in school.
Wait, you're saying, wait. You're
They
saying,
can't tell you lies in school. It's school,
you're saying they
man.
made Lanigan up?
Next, you can tell me that those ants, those mice weren't getting intelligent, and then one of them horribly tragically died.
Now I really want to re-listen to Lanigan versus the Ants. It's been so long.
I mean,
It's
short.
great.
It's like 100 pages. I mean, it's a super short story, isn't it?
We could probably do that. We could read it or audio
I'll do
record
it.
a book of it.
Do a radio play of Lanigan versus the Ants. That'd be good.
We just read it.
Cast hundreds of people to play the different ants.
Oh yeah, we gotta add our.
Most of our budget went to extras. We actually hired 10,000 extras for this audiobook we recorded.
We just stood in the sea of ants and read the book.
Lanigan versus the Ants from the Ants perspective.
Well, the problem is if you do that
Great heroic
nowadays,
war.
people will get mad unless you cast ants in the movie because it's a bad
Oh
representation.
no, I think you have to cast black lesbians as the
Well, they
ants.
have black ants. You just cast a lesbian.
Oh, they
black
be some
ant.
sassy ass ants. I don't know.
Is that still the trend, or we moved past? Black
It's South
lesbians?
American. You gotta hire South Americans though. South American blood.
Yeah, go to Brazil. That's
It-
like 30-something% of their population or something.
There's a lot of white people in Brazil.
Well, yeah, so
Who's
yeah,
gonna be the
yeah,
first
a lot of
ants
Germans
to
down
There's a
do
there.
lot of white people in Brazil. There's so much white in Brazil now.
Okay, Lanigan versus the Ants from the Ants perspective. That's what we're doing.
That's the horror movie.
No, that's gonna.
So
that's-
Oh,
No, this
no,
is gonna be
no.
like
It's
so you
the
gotta
horror
do like
being
10
an
part
ant.
prestige
Well, the
TV,
concept of being crushed.
so that we can win so that some ants can win some Emmys. You know, you got to make history with this production.
Yeah, give me a war movie.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the horrors of war.
That's
Ooh.
From the
yeah.
ants' perspective.
Yeah. When they get put
But
in the
now we're
train
just
and they
doing
light it on
that
fire.
Prodigy music video.
You do like a battle of the balls, but there's a lot more ants involved.
A lot less tanks, a lot more ants.
Huge ants.
Depending on the breed of ants, you can have giant commander ants and shit.
These
Gouda.
SMO, KES, Gouda. SMO, KES, Gouda. Smokes Gouda, that's Mr. Gouda to you. I'll knock out your front tooth and pull out my tool. Not my prick, this 45 I keep on my hip. Try to dip, get shot so quick you won't hear the round rip. What a fool, laying in a pool of his own spaghetti sauce. I'm Brenton Tarrant, and you're an attendant at some Christchurch mosques. And I'm society's a peaceful one, that's why you'll never catch me in the streets without my gun.
Gouda.
SMO, KES, Gouda. SMO, KES, Gouda.
Revolutionizing the rhyme and cauterizing with time and bleed off from the iron spine and looking. Don't understand, months to be cooking, finger licking, you shookin'. Adolescents be booking the shows, hoes, money and clothes. Gouda on the track, time to attack. He's the king of the wheel, license to kill, taking it home. King to the throne, she's in the zone. Fall to your feet, no time to compete. Flawless victory, level complete.
Gouda.
SMO, KES, Gouda. SMO, KES, Gouda. Break it up and burn it down. Pass it while we roll round town. Choking, not coughing. To get high, you need to hold it in. Smoke leaking between my teeth while I flash that evil grin. What a sin, kicking down your door again. Only smoking on that good nose. Shit that'll make your curls toe. Find out you a no-show. No time to go slow, cause you're always rolling ghost mode. Label you a postcode. Always gunning, never done it. You saying something?
Gouda.
SMO, KES, Gouda. SMO, KES, Gouda.